I'm here with the Lounge X. We're here to talk about some manga that are ending and why that's important. I don't know. This is gonna be a weird video, but we have a plan, sort of.
Sort of.
Last time I talked to you, Lounge Act, I've had a problem.
I went by different names.
Yeah. Anime and
Which name do you like better? Be honest. Which name did you like better?
I don't know. Anime in theory is like a lot more catchy, but
Fair.
I think Lounge Act is also pretty good.
All right. I'll stick to it then.
Yeah.
Your opinion really decided on the fact that matter.
Damn.
You settled it a year after I changed it.
Yeah.
So first, you said you want to talk about My Hero Academia, and its ending.
Yeah. There's a lot of manga that seem to be ending, and really, I just want to take a look at the big picture with how.
Well, you have your like My Hero's ending soon. Black Clover is God knows what is going on with Black Clover. Same goes for kind of One Piece, but definitely feels like it's wrapping up in quotation marks.
Yeah, even though it'll probably be like 5 years before it actually ends.
The big ish one is JJK too, which is coming to an end very soon.
Yeah, no, I'll be honest, and maybe this is how it's been for you, but I kind of stopped paying attention to a lot of Shonen Jump series that have been ending. But this has been making me think about what's gonna happen to Shonen Jump now that all these series are ending, that all the big hit pieces are coming to a close. I guess what's next? I don't know.
Well, I think like a lot of people are very polarized about the MHA ending.
Yeah.
Or MHA one kind of spelled like how like the current age of reactions to these endings are gonna be.
Do you think MHA? Well, I did reread it all, but do you think it was bad?
I don't think it was bad. But at the same time, I definitely do need to reread it all because I didn't think the ending of Attack on Titan was bad when I first read it. But when I
you saw the reactions.
I saw the reactions. So I was like, it wasn't that bad. But and then I own all of the volumes of the manga. I was like slowly buying them over the course of like 2 months and reading them. And then when I did get to that ending, I did not like it. That's when I did not like the ending.
Dang. Yeah, no, that's exactly what I'm doing with Chainsaw. Well, I'm buying Chainsaw Man volumes. Dude, I'm such a big fan of Fujimoto. I love him. I have Look Back, Goodbye Aaron.
Have you read his
both his one-shot collections?
I have those too, yeah.
And then I'm slowly doing Chainsaw Man. What did I just say? Chainsaw Man. And eventually I want to get Fire Punch, but right now I'm just focusing on Chainsaw Man.
I don't have Fire Punch, but I do have the Chainsaw Man light novel.
Oh yeah, the buddy stories.
Which I did finally read after I had it for a year, and then I finally just kind of sat down and read it.
You have the buddy stories, right? With the power.
Yeah. It's called.
That's what I also got that. That's good.
Okay. I also have the first ever chapter of Chainsaw Man published in Shonen Jump that was shipped to me in Japan.
Bro. That's awesome.
I got it for super cheap years ago, way before Chainsaw Man would blow up. So
you think Chainsaw Man is ending soon?
It's hard to say because I don't
Fujimoto's
know
super unpredictable. That's what I love about him. But in my opinion, maybe a year. I don't know. It's hard to say again because he could just do something that is gonna make it turn into One Piece. But I don't really think that's how the story's gonna go. But
I think part 2 is definitely going to be the end, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see realistically how, a part 3 could happen.
Yeah.
Or Fujimoto doesn't really even seem to want to do that, because as he's talked about in the past, how he's
exactly.
I don't really want to draw series anymore, I just want to write them.
I heard that somewhere, I think from Sufferance, but yeah, no. What I think will happen is Boruto, but Chainsaw Man.
Boruto, I think that's going to happen with probably majority of these series now, though.
That's a route I really hope. I don't think these authors are that creatively bankrupt.
Well, it's not even the authors that decide that.
It's the people above them.
Yeah.
The editors and whatnot. Yeah.
They can only do so much. I
guess I'm underestimating.
A Boruto, One Piece is inevitable.
Oh no, dude! When One Piece ends, no, I don't want to see a Boruto One Piece.
I think that's money that the Shonen Jump executives have already put into their bank account. They have made their down payment on their yachts already for that. They are banking on it, probably so. it's gonna happen, unfortunately.
That, please.
I don't see one coming out of Black Clover though.
Realistically, if I were to look at it like that, MHA, I don't think anything's happened. I think there will be like more like little side stories.
There's like 500 MHA side stories already though.
Okay, then maybe not, but
like there was the Vigilantes one.
I'm sad to say the only thing I think could actually pull off Baruto could be a One Piece Baruto.
Yeah, I think that's just because the world.
But like even then, I don't really want to see. Yeah, the world is just. That's the great thing about One Piece is that it's just so expansive. Like it's the biggest like laid out mapped world I think in manga, and there's so many places to explore, and so that's why I'm really interested in seeing how it's ending, because I think it's gonna be huge when it comes to ending. Like I think we've already. Have you been reading the last arc, like Egghead and everything?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be what is it? Brain fart. Give me a second. The gears are slowly. I just had a train of thought.
Like he's closing all the like more doors are closing than being opened for like new plot points and stuff. Or everything that's new that's being introduced and new is to close, is to silence everything else.
Yeah, that, but also it's really huge world events in the world of One Piece, and I don't know, I'm just excited, like just the scale it's going to. The
Vegapunk transmission that kind of like just dropped so much lore like over the, like what 10 chapters.
And what you think about it is crazy, because this is stuff that One Piece has been going on before even I was born.
Oh yeah.
Before I was even a thought, probably.
Yeah, same.
So now that it's wrapping up, it's actually like super interesting to see, because this is One Piece. It's literal history. I think there's another super long running manga, but One Piece is
there's a few.
I think is like one of the most popular, biggest, well known, long running manga that is finally coming to a close.
Well, it's the best selling fictional book, period. Like I think like last year it finally beat Harry Potter or something like that.
That's insane to think
like
about.
So, and it sold more than like Batman and Superman comics and stuff like that during like the golden age of comics in like the 70s and the 80s and stuff. But what is going on? So I've not caught up all the way with Black Clover. I think that the farthest I ever got, like
Black Clover,
I was able to bear the series was past the like a little past the time skip.
I think I want to look into it, why people hate it so much, because as far as I know, it was.
I can give you a few reasons. I can give you a few reasons now.
I don't mind. I don't mind. Don't hurt my feelings.
What happens in it? It's just like the elf arc. Everybody was hyping up this arc. I was like, okay, I at least have to get to this. I have to know what, like, there was the dude who like he looks like Griffith, like the dude who like he's pretty much just Griffith. I was like, what is this dude's plan? Like, he was the sole reason I was reading it, because he just had so much aura around him. No. I was like, what is he gonna do? Then he just kind of ended up like, oh yeah, I'm basic evil villain who, I mean, like I can't really remember what happened with it, but then with the elf thing, like all the characters turning evil, and then they'd have a flashback to some trauma, and then they'd get that trauma resolved, and then they weren't evil again. Happened like 50 times. I'm like, who is this character? They look the exact same as the last character who did it. I don't know who you are.
I think that's something I'll look into more. I mean, those are valid reasons. If you don't like that, you don't like that. I just remember I kind of liked it, like Black Clover.
I don't really know when I did like. I liked it there's a certain point where it was kind of not really like about the action and just kind of the character. I think there was like some weird like thing where Asta had like some other like redhead like girl who's like love interest. Like I think that was honestly more interesting, when probably a lot of people didn't like it, but when they were actually just focusing on the character writing and not really trying to like just shove it into action. I don't know.
You make me want to look into this a lot more, because like
like it's what Yuki, but he's also like Yuki Tabata has had like he's had a lot of like stuff that's happened out of his control that is like genuinely very sad, like stuff like health problems. Like I know like his daughter was in the hospital, and then like his wife was very sick and stuff, so that's why he kind of has like, so what happens now with it? Like I know like one releases every like 6 months or something like that. When does the new chapter come out?
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been that well versed in the ending of, or in the mangas that are ending. I won't lie. Really, I've only been focusing on One Piece and JJK. That's about it. But yeah, I heard something about he's been taking a lot of hiatuses and stuff.
Well, because it's straight up
Which
moved
is
to
understandable.
another. It straight up moved to another. It moved to another magazine. It's not even in Shonen Jump anymore.
Did it? I didn't even know that. That's how much I know.
And then,
Dang.
like, there's so many that did move. Like, Chainsaw Man isn't in
It's in manga. I remember that.
Jump Plus.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of their big hitter, like, people consider Shonen Jump's big hitters, like, they're upcoming at least, like Don. That's not in Shonen Jump Weekly. That's Jump Plus.
Yeah, I guess that's something I was having a little bit of a rough idea about is, do you think Shonen Jump is the magazine? Like, I think all of these other mangas, like Dan to Dan, Sakamoto Days, Kagurabachi, they're coming out. The ones I've covered in my previous video versus Tower Dungeon, stuff like that. I think we're definitely seeing some great mangas coming out that are very entertaining and, just good. But do you think Shonen Jump is going to have that, like, going to have another One Piece? Or do you think, because I guess it already has Kagurabachi, but like, what's going to replace, or does it?
I don't
Shonen
think
Jump,
anything sales-wise will ever pass One Piece.
Yeah. You think anything's gonna, like, quote unquote, like, replace?
I think manga has like changed a lot since like the big three. Because big three back then, like Naruto was like 600 something chapters, Bleach was like 700 something, and then One Piece is like over like 1100. It's very different nowadays, where like most series, like their lifespan is only like 200 to 300 chapters now. They're much shorter, and like, but that is, on one hand, that's better for us, but I don't know how much Shonen Jump executives like that, because they know that they like can't have 700 chapter series again. That's just not going to happen. So we think that the landscape has changed so much that like Kagurabachi is realistically maybe at most only going to be 300 something chapters. So I don't think that they're probably having to change their business model to the point where they're just throwing whatever they can at the wall hoping it will stick, and when it doesn't stick, they immediately tear it off. So that's why they're very, very harsh now. So I don't really think there ever can be another like One Piece
that
just
can like stretch out and tell a very full-fleshed story.
Yeah, and that they can consistently like make profit on for decades to come.
Yeah, that's
like, cause even like other series that like technically Demon Slayer ended like years ago, but the anime is still going on,
popping off.
Well, popping off is I don't know. Did you watch season 3 of the anime, or season 4 technically?
No.
I did not know that it like came out.
I just remember hearing like bits about it because my little brother really likes Demon Slayer.
Okay.
I don't know. For someone who has a channel that is mainly centered around anime and manga, you'd probably be very surprised with how not up to date I am with certain series. But I do focus on big ones like One Piece, and,
I don't know, because so Demon Slayer is very strange, because season 3 was massive. Like the Swordsmith Village arc, that was everywhere. That was like the biggest thing since like sliced bread. And then all of a sudden, season 4 comes along.
Yeah.
They do that same thing where they like play it in theaters. I remember hearing about it, but I was like, I'm not gonna go see that. I'm not spending my money on that again. But then I find out that it's coming out actively. Like, there are new episodes, and I'm like, what? I have not seen a single clip on Twitter of like some people saying that, oh, Ufotable is the best in the business, or have nothing like that. And then the next thing I see is a review from IGN. I think they gave it like a 3 out of 10 or something like that. And people were very, I don't know, it sparked a lot of debate, but I'm like, it finished? And I was just so curious. So I actually went and read the manga. The entirety of season 4 covers 8 chapters.
Wait, what? Say that again?
The entirety of season 4 covers the Hashira training arc, which, sure, let me just make sure. Hashira training arc length. 8 chapters, yeah. 128 to 136. I think each episode is like...
And that's just season 4, right?
Yeah, that's just season 4, but like, I was like, how are they going to... even coming up to it, I was like, how are they going to stretch this out?
Yeah, that is anime adaptations, like where you could start to fail. It's like, well, most of the problems, my favorite manga is Tokyo Ghoul. And if you don't know what happened there, what happened was the manga I wasn't there at the time watching the anime. Well, I kind of was, but pretty much the manga was coming out and it wasn't keeping up fast enough with how fast the anime was coming out. And so the anime made its own original ending.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was just censorship stuff.
No, that's pretty much what happened. Well, as far as I know, that's what I remember. And so then the manga, finally ends and Tokyo Ghoul Re comes out. They make an anime, but pretty much everyone hated a certain part of the anime, and it's always going to have that very bad stigma around it. Go read the manga. Tokyo Ghoul is it's so good.
Because I know that, like, I think that's like kind of the problem with the One Piece anime right now too. Because I really want to watch it because it has so many cool stuff. But it's like they adapt less than half a chapter because like they're so close to catching up.
Oh my god, the pacing.
And then like the word filler just has such like a negative connotation that they're so afraid to do it.
All right, this is definitely a hot take, but One Piece. Well, maybe it isn't. Maybe everyone agrees with me, but the One Piece anime, I think, is one of the worst animes ever. Not because it doesn't have a great story, it doesn't have great characters, but only because of how it's being made around the manga, and with how like they're trying to keep it 1-to-1, or trying to stay caught up, but only enough. The pacing just is dead. I mean, there are certain parts in the anime where like it flows really well, but
I wouldn't say it's one of the worst, but it's like...
Well, I think it's one of the worst when it comes to...
Man, it's
pacing,
noticeable.
how the story flows, or how the anime flows. The manga, that is a different story, but the anime is very, I think with how it's made and how it's released, it's a very easy thing to see that there's a problem with the way things are being done. I don't know.
I guess I didn't even think about the fact that they don't... No, never mind. They don't need a One Piece Boruto. They're just going to remake One Piece. The anime. I forgot about that. They don't need one. They're just... So, I mean, like, hopefully I'm hoping that the anime remake fixes the pacing issues.
That was... Alright, so this is a completely different thing, but what you were saying about something about Twitter, I think you just mentioned it, Kagurabachi. Well, what's been a very interesting thing that I've been seeing lately is how much can social media truly affect, the people over in Japan, the mangakas. How does that affect the manga? Because for the most part, for things like One Piece, it probably isn't going to affect it very much. If some random dude on Twitter, or girl, or whoever gets triggered, and it's all like, I want to kill One Piece, or something, they want One Piece to end because such and such, or something, I don't know. That isn't really going to affect One Piece, but we saw it affect Kagurabachi with how it became a huge meme.
Yeah.
That's always going to... Kagurabachi, if nothing else, I'm always gonna know Kagurabachi for the way it started.
Yeah, I remember like when it was first like that meme started, like it was before the series even came out, people were making memes about it and stuff.
Yeah.
But I was like, it's like, okay, I'll try the first chapter of it, and I read it. Like, just for full knowledge, I read the new chapter of every single Shonen Jump series that comes out. Like, I have consistently done that for almost 4 years now. I can tell, it's so easy to tell when one is going to get canceled.
Dang.
It's like, holy moly, this has nothing interesting. This has nothing original. There's nothing going on here. Kagurabachi felt so unbelievably different from any other first chapter that I've ever read. Like, it didn't have anything story-wise, but it just had so much style in the way that the paneling and the flow of, like, even just all the little things to how the fights just work. They just work so unbelievably well. And I was like, oh, and people were saying, like, oh, it was just kind of mid, like, fights. It's like, no, you have not read every single new trash chapter that comes out of that magazine. And then to finally find, like, this gem of a series, and, like, I was like, okay, this series is going places.
Yeah, I don't even know how I felt about Kagurabachi. First of all, I never read new chapters unless
I wouldn't recommend it.
It starts getting traction on Twitter or something like Kagurabachi.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it.
I really just look for mangas that, I think I'll like or I've read before, or I don't know. Maybe I should just keep trying new things. But yeah, no, Kagurabachi, it definitely had a strong start. And with the way it started, like even just the meme, like I didn't even read the story. That didn't even get me interested at first. It was the meme that dragged me into it, and I was like, oh, maybe I should check this out. And seeing how, that translated. Luckily, the author of it was able to, take charge of that momentum and actually use it to make a good story and be popular. So now I think Kagurabachi is going to be a very popular manga. And this ties back to the point I was making earlier: is is there even a need for a replacement? And I guess no. But I do think mangas need to have the same star power if Shonen Jump is going to survive. I think as long as good manga is being made, then people will keep reading Shonen Jump because it's so well established and stuff that it's gonna be really hard unless the editors or someone they like really mess up and fire all the good writers and good authors. It's gonna be really hard to mess up Shonen Jump's long-term success.
The only thing I ever see it really that could really drag it down is if it has something like the comic book crash, and that kind of happened in the 90s and 80s.
You need to educate me on that.
Okay, so have you ever heard of Watchmen?
Very little. I had only just heard the name. That's about it.
So it was every other series had been your basic, or not basic, but very well storied X-Men, Superman, Batman, any Spider-Man, anything like that. But these were superheroes. They were very much people who had all these superhuman abilities, but they were very much glorified. And Alan Moore was kind of this dude who every story he wrote was very dark and edgy, but specifically with Watchmen, it was more of it's very similar to The Boys, where it was very much a parody, and a critique of the superhero genre, and he's introducing characters the main character Rorschach. He's not meant to be liked. He's just kind of this detective who's supposed to be Batman. He eats cold beans, he lives alone, he has no friends, anything. He's very much a parody of all these superheroes. But Watchmen went on to be it's probably one of, if not the most influential comic books of all time. So it went on to define how all these comics would be written in the future as people don't want good stories. They want stories like Watchmen, where they're dark and gritty. And so comics no longer existed as a medium. It existed as a thing to be parodied and critiqued, as every single so many other comics after that would try to do what Alan Moore did by being dark and gritty, without understanding what actually made Watchmen so good in the first place. People always say that Alan Moore didn't kill the comic book industry. He just handed them the news, though. He kind of has predicted that nowadays comic books are kind of Ouroborosing themselves by only taking influence from themselves and no other media outside, and only just repeating the same things over and over, going through the same cycle. And I think that there is a certain point where series almost become formulated. We kind of see that already with anime, with isekai,
definitely,
and stuff like that. But I think that Shonen Jump is still in a very safe spot. Even just with Kagurabachi being so being the same thing but being different at the same time.
Yeah, Picasso, I think he said something good artists, or something about good artists not copying, but they steal. And I think people do need to copy. This just gets into an even bigger thing, but just with the art in general, you should steal techniques and then use that to develop your own style. And I think that is what Kagurabachi is doing. But I think what you were saying with the Watchmen, it could be very dangerous, and if the authors don't try and be creative, and the editors trying to come up with some little formula. Fujimoto taking such heavy inspiration from movies, and all of his panels being Kagurabachi too taking heavy inspiration from Hollywood and stuff, and making all of its panels cinematic and as if they were being shot through a camera. Yeah. That's one thing that I think is really cool about Fujimoto, and really just how different he is compared to. I don't think being different will necessarily make you successful, but I think, you know, if you have like some originality, learn how to speak. I don't know.
Originality.
Kind of originality.
Come on.
Dear Lord. Originality. So I think, you know, authors and mangakas need that. I don't think that's, as long as the mangakas and authors have that, then I think Shonen Jump and really just any manga place or wherever you get manga, read manga, will be okay.
I mean, even MHA was kind of like, I don't know what. Okay, so people like always talked about how it's like when MHA was super popular, how like I wasn't really into anime around the time, but like how different it felt. People saying, oh, it was so different from every other series, and that it subverted shonen tropes. I'm like, what did it subvert? How was this different? It feels like it felt very generic to me after I kind of had read it.
Yeah.
And eventually, it would do like the ending. It would subvert tropes, especially at the beginning. But kind of like that's why I am very mixed on the MHA ending, where it tried to subvert tropes, but it wasn't like, or it was kind of do you know like what's her name, Ochako or Yuriraka?
Yeah, Ochako.
Like her,
I don't even
her and Deku like not ending up together. People are like,
pissed out.
I could definitely see that happening. Yeah, like I can definitely see that happening. I kind of figured it was going to happen, and they kind of built that up in the final arc, and then didn't really, and then and then at the end she just kind of decides, and then like it feels like a very quick turnaround. Like it was like the second to last chapter, where all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, so everything we kind of built up, that you're not really subverting a trope if you just go, psych, that's actually not happening. You're just kind of more, and I do feel that was like why I'm not the biggest fan of the MHA ending, but at the same time also like we have to take into account Horikoshi's health.
Yeah, that's.
And he was.
There's just so like so many factors that can go into making a good story, and like that can come from being creative to even things like, you know, just things that make us human, like our health and so many different factors throughout life. I don't know. So at the end of the day, read Kagurabachi. No, just I don't know.
But
what were you just saying?
I was saying like just to emphasize the point though, I think some people might say it's like we know that how much like Horikoshi's health was degrading. Like I know it was like stuff with his shoulder and stuff, but I do want to commend though the art near the end was so amazing in MHA. It was insane for what he was like able to do with like his injured shoulder, and then like able to produce on a weekly basis. Yeah,
it's honestly amazing.
And another series that does art really well is Dandadan.
Yeah.
I think that could be an interesting up and comer.
Dandadan is freaking insane. Like, there's so many videos already that are recommending it. I think it just got confirmed for an anime.
Oh no, anime is coming out in like a couple weeks.
I have not been keeping. That just shows how much I've been keeping up with Dandadan. But
technically, it's already out because the entire season got leaked online. But I'm not gonna watch it until it officially comes out.
I think I discovered, or I didn't discover, but I read Dandadan like 2 years ago. I think it was, you know, Stamboli Reviews.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. He had a video, him and the Masked Man, not together, but two separate videos talking about just Dandadan.
Yeah.
And that's what initially drew me in. And so I read it, and I don't think it's up next. I think it's already, I think it's already up there, to be honest. It's already cemented itself.
Well, I do think we kind of have to wait. Yeah, we do have to wait for the anime, though,
Well, yeah, because then it could be another...
I don't think that, because we have seen trailers. The anime is very, very good. The only thing that I think could happen is where it's just is so weird at the start that it's very off, and it off-puts so many people. Like, I think that kind of was what happened with Chainsaw Man. People were like, what is this? No, this is not my cup of tea. I want to go back to, like, my sword fights and stuff. I don't know. I do think Dandadan, though, like, one critique I have of it story-wise is it's a lot of and then storytelling, where it's just kind of like they fight the granny and then they fight aliens and then like they don't really lead into each other that well. I mean, character writing it does, but not really a whole lot of the conflicts really build up to each other. It's kind of just like a lot of like throwing stuff down.
One of the things I've seen with authors, I think, what's his name? Iraqi. He does it very well with JoJo.
Yeah.
It's being able to tell your own original and be very creative with your story, but also making it like good. That's where the hard part comes. Because I could write a story right now about aliens or the end of the universe or something, you know, something crazy. But that's what separates us from them is, are you able to make it a good story with good characters and have a good message, or even have a message in, I don't know, there's so many different ways to write a story, but
I think manga, you kind of have to write it a very specific way though, because have you read Araki's book?
I have not. I
Okay.
should.
I read it, and it was he called it the golden road of manga, or yellow road of manga. But it's basically where series always, specifically with manga, it always, without fail, has to feel like that the story is moving forward. Like, so it's,
yeah, that's
like
true.
characters,
That's true.
like he always says like how, like he used one example from like some superhero movie. I can't remember what it was, but it's like where the hero, he hates the superhero trope where the hero goes, oh, I shouldn't be a superhero anymore, so I'm gonna throw away my suit in a dumpster. But then all just for the end of the movie, for them to just be like, you know what, I should do the superhero thing again. It's like,
Yeah.
he says that there's like no development in that. Like you just basically, you start at one place, and then by the end of the movie you're just at that same place. And so I think that like sometimes, like he says, it's also super tempting to write a, like, let's say your character loses the big fight. Like he says that is like almost suicide when it comes to manga, because it won't feel, you still have to do it where it feels like they're moving forward, and like
Yeah.
so many series fail to do that. And I think that, like, I think One Piece actually wrote that very well with the time skip.
Yep.
All of like those straw
Yeah.
hats getting picked up, but it felt like the story was moving forward still.
Yeah. That's something I never even thought about. That's just really such an interesting aspect when it comes to writing manga.
And I do think that like is kind of the problem with, like, I started to notice that with all of the new series that I would read too. Going back to like Shonen Jump throwing everything at the wall. It's like, man, this author, like, he had a vision. The editors were like, oh, this isn't working out. Okay, switch to this. No, switch to this. No, switch to this. Like, it doesn't ever feel like it's moving forward because we're constantly getting reset.
Yeah.
And I definitely do think like that in order for Shonen Jump to keep these, like, they just have to have a clear vision and stick with it.
Definitely. I honestly, if I was running Shonen Jump, which would definitely not end very well, but
Yeah.
I don't think
any of us would.
Yeah, no. I think it'd be a good idea to let people, I mean, to be an editor, to let people like have their own creative vision, but also kind of guide them. So, like what you were saying, the story does feel like it's moving forward. I don't know. This is getting a lot deeper than I thought it was gonna be. I won't lie. But I had no plan going into this. So.
Another one, like editor intervention. Have you ever read Undead Unluck?
I read like 20 chapters, then I stopped reading it because I forgot why. I just kind of stopped. I do that a lot.
It kind of sucks at the beginning, to be honest. It has a lot of like, I don't know, very gropey humor. Like it's a lot. It's like,
Yeah, I've seen that.
like, what is this series doing? It's like, it's
Yeah.
so unlikable at the start. And I'm like, I guess apparently
Like
that was
slapstick.
like it. Not even that. Like it
Not
was
that.
just like where he would like the main character, it was like straight up just sexual assault. Like that was kind of the humor, and it was bad. But apparently like the reason that was because there was like the editor told him, like, hey, you need to capture as many readers' attention at the start, so this is stuff you need, because the series immediately cuts that stuff out. Like
Dang.
after the 20th or 30th chapter, and it becomes so unbelievably different that it's like I reread the first chapter and it's like, man, this is like, feels like it's from a whole different universe than like what the story is now.
Bro, that's crazy because I only read like, I don't think I even got past that part.
Yeah, no, you definitely didn't, because it takes a while before like it finally finds its stride. And I think that's also another thing. It's like where there's people say they're canceling them way before they can even, like, authors can even find their stride, because
Like, let their story fly on its own a little bit.
I think that somebody, like, a lot of people say, and I agree with it, Bleach and One Piece would have been canceled if they were in the
came out
modern
now.
day.
Yeah.
They 1000% would have. I actually think that Naruto is the only one that wouldn't have. Maybe. because of Land of Waves, I think.
Dude, oh my gosh, that's one of my favorite like arcs in all the manga.
I really like, because I think, like, I mean, there's like the beginning training, which I can't remember how long that lasts, but no, when it does get to Land of Waves though, like it really picks up.
I think Kishimoto showed like where like his specialty, or you know, how he's able to write a good story in the Land of Waves. A lot of great things.
The one moment where like Kakashi like like a child like jumps in front of like their slave master to like, and Kakashi ends up like accidentally like stabbing the kid like through the chest with his fist. Like it's like, holy moly, okay, so this series actually like isn't gonna, I thought like, I went to Naruto thinking it was gonna be the most generic thing ever, but no, it was very, very different than what I expected it to be, and I really like that it did that. That like it was able to had something that just captured everybody's attention. Yeah,
no, I got started on Naruto. It's like one of the first anime I watched, and I know for sure, definitely the first Shonen Jump manga anime. Well, I didn't get into manga until like 2020. But before then, I was only anime only. I didn't even know about manga. But Naruto was one of the best.
Oh, okay.
Or one of my favorite ones. Which there's a lot of arguments for, you know, why people hate it, and I definitely see some flaws with it. But you know, when a manga's good, it's good, and it's not gonna be perfect.
I actually think Kagurabachi had a very similar like first arc. Like it was with I honestly think it would not be as like good as it without Sojo.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah, bro, I love him.
Like this was like, he was just such an amazing first antagonist, and like he's very like, he's similar to kind of how Toji was in JJK, where it's like he was only around for like 10 or 20 chapters.
Yeah, no, nothing.
But he just felt like so like he had such an unbelievably like, he's so well written and to the point where like he still has like an impact now.
Yeah, I think with Kagurabachi, well, obviously with Sojo, I think that just shows how good the author is at writing characters. But before Sojo, what intrigued me about Kagurabachi was its style, the motivation of the main character, you know, just basic stuff like that. Like the style is just, it goes hard. I won't lie.
It's similar to like Kubo's style and stuff with Bleach.
Yeah. That's what I kind of compared it to when I was talking about it.
That's why I still think that like Bleach's anime, I really do not like Bleach's anime, because I feel like
I have not even looked into it.
It just sucks all of the style out of the manga for me. Personally,
you know, it's very stylistic, Kagurabachi is, but with Sojo, that's where I started to see like there's an actual really good substance here that is just like very substantial. That is enough to write a story, or a good story. Yeah, no, it's hard to explain.
Do you think that there is going to be a Kagurabachi anime? Because I know like, I think it was Mappa approached like Shonen Jump. Mappa approached Shonen Jump like after the first volume or something of Chainsaw Man released.
I feel like it already has that star power. So I think it's already in the works, to be honest.
I definitely think that like there's probably like some like studios have been like, hey, like we want first dibs on this one. Like it probably honestly is Mappa, which I don't really know, because at one point they do have great animation, but also like I made like a video about it where their working conditions are just so awful, and to the point where it is affecting their series, and their series are just kind of over time looking worse and worse.
Yeah, no, I've heard a lot of problems. I think even you covered that in one of your videos, didn't you, like a long time? Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I know you had a like JJK video that covered it, kind of.
Like even JJK season 2, like Shibuya, it had really good animation, but like they were really like, they had to prioritize fights in order to like get them out the door. Some fights just did not look good.
To kind of sell it, is what you're saying?
Or not even, no, like some fights they were definitely prioritizing some, as in like, okay, this is a lesser fight, so therefore it's not going to get as much budget. But like JJK at the first season was known for every single fight, no matter how small it was, looking good.
I'll be honest, I still haven't, like, I'm 2 episodes into season 2, and it's been how long since it's been fully out?
Probably like
I
a
don't
year.
know.
I think more than a year. Honestly.
Yeah, I've been I don't know. I'm very weird when it comes to keeping track of series, especially animes. Now that I'm really into manga,
Yeah.
like I'd rather focus on the manga than the anime at this point. But yeah, there's some series like JJK where I want to go back and really just see what's up.
I haven't it's been a minute though since I've watched like an anime. It's like I don't know. There hasn't really been anything this season. I haven't watched like a first episode of a series in so long. There hasn't been anything like this year.
I'm the exact same way, and maybe it's just because how I am with making YouTube videos. But I've just been going back to what I've been liking and rewatching some of them. And I don't know. That's what I'm kind of doing with Gurren Lagann. I haven't really started working on it yet, but I have something in the works with that.
I think Gurren Lagann was the last anime I actually watched though. It was like a few months ago. I haven't watched anime in like a minute, but I really liked it though.
Maybe that's just how it is when you become a manga reader. When you get so deep into manga,
I think it's pacing.
It's so nice to read at your own pace. Like there's definitely like a set pace that the author tries to go, but you could it's so easy to stop and start and blow through it, and just how you read a book.
All of the series that I have watched this year though are ones that aren't based on manga. Like Gurren Lagann, have you ever seen Lane before? Serial Experiments Lane? Okay, have you heard of it?
I've heard of it, yeah.
I watched that one.
The one with the girl in school or whatever?
Yeah. Like that one, but that's just because it used the medium of anime to push everything forward.
That sounds very entertaining. Very sick.
You definitely should watch. It has from the first opening 10 minutes, it has such a creepy atmosphere to it, and eerie there's this one sound from it of, I think it's telephone lines or something that they play throughout the entire series, and it's just such a chilling sound, and I don't know, it's a very, very good series.
Yeah, I need to look into it. Dude, maybe I'm not as big of a fan of anime and manga as I once thought.
Well, no, I just don't think I'm as big of a fan of anime in general though as I am. I definitely consider myself more of a manga person.
Oh yeah, no, the thing is that I really like anime, so I think I'm gonna eventually start. If I ever get super bored of manga, I'll start going back to anime. Or I've just been reading or watching anime off of series I've already seen, like Chainsaw Man. That was the last time I really wanted to watch an anime, and that was only because I've been keeping up with the manga. So
yeah, I think I read so much anime and manga the past 2 years that I kind of burnt it myself out in it. I haven't read that much series. The last series I read, I think, was I ended up reading for the first time. I had watched the anime Hunter x Hunter.
Oh,
that was back in June.
That's my favorite anime.
Okay, have you read the manga for it?
Yeah, that was kind of early on when I was watching anime where I really got into it, and then that eventually led me, once I found manga, to start reading the manga.
Have you read the manga?
I read up to a certain point of the Dark Continent arc.
Or have you read the series from the beginning to the end though, from chapter 1?
I don't.
Okay, I would 1,000% do that.
Yeah, that's eventually gonna be a plan, but yeah, I read from when it ended.
I always thought that the series was pretty okay, honestly. The entire time I've read, and then I reread it, and now it's in my top 10. The manga is in my top 10. Togashi is so good at he switches art styles every once in a while to emphasize a point, and that's my favorite part about the series. The fights in the anime, they feel more like JoJo fights, where it's just kind of everything's kind of at a standstill and it takes forever because it's more of a puzzle fight. But in the manga, it feels like an actual fight.
I never even thought looking into the Hunter x Hunter manga even more.
I don't even really remember why I did it. I just kind of wanted to.
I'm back.
Alright, what were you yelling at?
My cat.
Oh, okay.
I have a stray cat that my mom found, and it was pregnant. It just gave birth, like literally in my closet randomly one day under my skateboard.
Dang.
And so I just now moved her out, like after like 2 weeks, and she thinks that her kittens are in danger or something outside in the living room, and she's just been, every time I go out, she runs over. Like she'll try, if I keep my door open for long enough, she'll eventually pick up one of her kittens, run inside my closet and put them down. But I'm trying to teach her that it's a, you know, they'll be okay out there. They're not good. There's nothing. There's no hawk flying around. About to come pick them up. But she's just like panicking or something. So I just been kind of like mimicking her. So I don't know. Is there a main idea of this video, or was it just one long schizophrenic? No.
It was just kind of a lot of like schizophrenic rambling.
Yep. That sounds about right for YouTube. Anyways, thank you, Lounge Act, coming on and talking with me. I get lonely sometimes.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get ready for work. I'm gonna go play some Black Ops 6. You know that came out recently? Or
is it like what is it?
No, it's the beta,
right?
The beta, yeah.
How is it though? Because
I haven't even tried it. I woke up, had to go deal with some stuff, and then came here, done this. So.
Wait, is it
I'll
like
play a little bit of that before work.
Steam right now?
So yeah, no, I think you gotta like pre-order it or whatever, and then you.
Oh, you had to pay like $70 though.
Which was definitely probably a mistake on my end because I don't know. I've just started getting back into Call of Duty, which could be a mistake.
Okay, refund it and wait, because it's gonna come out on Game Pass. That way you only have to pay $20 for it instead of $70.
But then again, we gotta think about Game Pass is like monthly, right?
Yeah, but you get so much like good stuff though with it. Like that's how I found like all of my like favorite series. Like I wouldn't have played like through the Metal Gear Solid games or like the Persona even. Like I recently found the one I made a video on. Like I found that out because they had just threw the remake of 3 this year on Game Pass.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I sound like a Microsoft shell though whenever I talk about Game Pass.
I'll be honest. I'm just a stand on this very bad financial decision. I would keep Call of Duty.
Alright, fair.
Because I'm thinking of making some videos over it. I don't know if I'll post it on this channel or this other channel I have.
Oh, like just use it as B-roll?
Or even do that, yeah. Because I'm not,
Okay,
I'm kind of a gamer, but like, I don't play a whole bunch of different, I don't have a wide, diverse, I don't know what you call it, just catalog I've played.
Are you gonna make like one of those like leafy commentary videos with it, like where you're just talking about something and then in the background is CS:GO Surf?
Maybe. Well, I was mainly thinking about.
Do you even know who Leafy is?
Dude, of course I know who Leafy is here.
Okay.
No, I just think of using
I was like, maybe
like videos, like, you know.
Yeah.
You know, even for this video, I could probably use it. We're done with our schizophrenic rambling. I hope. We've covered a lot. The really, really deep stuff. I won't lie. I did not expect this video to get this deep. But yeah, I think we're done for now. I think eventually I want to do this again. I don't know if it'll be this. I hope it ain't this long because
it's definitely gonna be. I think it's shorter than the last time we did though with the JoJo.
Yeah, but yeah, we're done. So I hope you're able to get something out of this video, or maybe just to put it on the background while cleaning or going on a run or whatever the heck you do. So yeah, thanks for watching this far. Thanks for listening, however you're doing it, and yeah, peace out.
Bye.
What
the fuck was that?
You know John Cena?
What is that?